And we are live. I love the way you just brush your eyebrow like that. Oh, he's ready. When you do this, that
Yes,
means you're ready.
absolutely.
All right, man. How was your weekend? Had a good time?
It was cool. Can't complain. How about yours?
It was not too shabby, man. Can't complain.
A-
Got
a-
some,
Anything
got
special?
nothing special. I worked a little bit, got a little bit of rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to invite you to something, but I'll talk to you about that after the show.
Oh, thanks.
We had a listening party for the audiobook. So
You got to be kidding me.
I kid you not. My wife was like, "Why didn't you write?" I got all flustered and I forgot.
Were you
Anyway,
pleased with it?
huh?
Were you pleased with the book?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was awesome. We'll talk, right?
How
So
true.
anyway, what's today's topic is going to be pretty cool. We just hashed it out real quick, and I think it's going to be a pretty interesting conversation. So stay tuned for daily chat number 30, which starts now. Welcome back to That's So Controversial. Daily chat number 30. This is our 30th daily chat, not counting the Thursday promos, but yeah, it's the 30th one, man. We've come a long way. I am your man, Rick. This is my co-host, Kyle Graham, with the little magic fingers there. I love it.
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers.
Mhm.
All right. So if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel and following us on our social medias, man, the Instagrams and the Facebooks and stuff. Welcome everyone who's always on time, man. Which love you guys, man. Showcast, Eddie, Maria. Forgot my wife's name.
Oh, good job.
I know, right? What was me? All right, so bring us to today's topic. Tell us what's going on, man.
So this is a topic that it kind of goes in. It's kind of a discussion thing, like I think among friends. So, here it goes. Would you be against dating someone with a child? Why or why not?
Yes. All right. So
Well,
you wanna?
I guess I'll be the expert in this because you're happily married with a child. Um, so, well, we could talk about the past.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I got some experience, bro.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've done it.
Would you date someone with a child? I think in the past I've been very strong about this, which is no.
Okay.
But as I'm getting older, it's like, so what you gonna do? It's like the options are, yeah, you're running kind of out of time with your options here. So
I'll see. So you consider it settling?
I'm not gonna say settling, but if I don't know, I don't think settling. It will be something for me to like. It'll be one of those things like, well, this is this person is this, but then it's that. And if the person's cool, it just is what it is. You can't control when you meet somebody. So
Right. For me, there's pros and cons to it, man. There really
with
is.
everything.
Yeah, but with this one, I think it's a little tougher because, like with my experience, right, with dating people with kids, right. If the kid is young enough, you could tend to freaking you fall in love with the kid, right, and the relationship goes bad. Now what?
There
That's
you go.
not your kid. That's not your kid, and that's exactly what happened to me at one time. I was really, that's when my nickname, Bobby Rick came from.
Really?
Yeah, so the guy, was dating this girl with a kid, and I fell in love with the little girl, and I was like her dad, man, and then the relationship didn't work out, and it's like, you try to do the right thing and still be the father figure to this kid, but you start to realize that that's not your part. That's not your part, and you kind of setting yourself up to failure. It was tough. It was tough for me. So I'm on the fence with that one. When it comes to dating people with kids, I'm not sure whether if if I was single, I don't know if I would cancel it out. But I know in my experience, it's turned out really really bad.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's for me. I think I'm not gonna say dated, but I've um, had discussion with
Mm,
people with a woman with a child, and you just have it's some pros and like you say pros and cons to it, right? You
mm.
that spontaneous, you kind of lose that spontaneous aspect of things.
Right,
You have to keep in mind, if you're dating that person, they may not be able to just get up and go like you would be able to, you know.
right.
Yeah, right.
I was not, yeah, I was saying right because I want to hear some of the comments already because some people made some really, really interesting points. Like motivation says, every woman has a child nowadays. It's
Yeah, exactly.
a little bit of sarcasm, but and it's funny. This is what he says: as women run for the hills when I tell them I have two daughters. So you see, his experience from the
Yeah,
other on the other side, they don't want to deal with it.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting, man. It's really gonna be, like I said, based on a person to person, because it's some things you can deal with, some things you can't deal with. If you're dating, it may be something you can't deal with.
Right.
So
I don't want to mess up this time because last week I forgot to post this. So I'm posting the link to join the discussion, guys. If you guys want to join, and we'll let you guys in an appropriate time so that we can have a smooth transition. So I posted the link on the Facebook group chat, and I posted the link here on the YouTubes and stuff.
yeah. So what do you think, though, Rick? Do
About
you
what?
think? Do you think like I guess that's going to get back to the next question. Is having a kid a stigma, and does the number of kids matter?
I think I think it has to do. I think your experience plays a role, and I guess you have to approach it from two different angles, right? If you've never done it before, what do you expect coming out of that situation? Leave the question up.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So, like, if you had a good experience with it, I mean, how does a relationship like that end well, right? How is it a good experience?
so wait, I'm talking about as far as is having a kid a stigma, though. Do you think that if someone looking on the outside in, um, I just said this person has a kid, is that like a negative thing? I mean, I guess it's based off the person, but does the
Right.
number of kids matter? Does that say something about the person if they have four different kids with four
I think
different
I
people?
think there's a stigma attached to it. It's an unfair stigma because sometimes I mean, we operate with our hearts, right? We fall in love, and sometimes we blindly, like, make babies.
Yeah.
Relationships doesn't work out. Some people just they just fall in love, man. They fall in love hard.
So I would say that if I met someone and she had three different uh fathers, I mean three different kids' fathers, that would kind of be like a flag for me.
Why?
And I don't think it's something I would want to deal with. And I think that's a preference
Okay,
thing.
so you're not saying that it's a knock against her. It's just that what you think, what is about your perspective, right? You're thinking that she's making bad choices.
I didn't say that. I just said it's a preference thing. I just wouldn't want to do it. I'm not going to judge her because she could literally been in love three different times. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock her for that. But it's not something I want to deal with. I think we as people, we can choose what we want to put up with, and that's something I don't think I would want to do it.
How about if what if you had kids
Okay.
and they had kids? How about in that situation? Would that be different for you?
I I can only assume it because I don't have kids. So I would say it would be fine. It'd just be more a family coming together like the Brady Bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
So you think that'd be different, like for whether as far as a single person coming into the relationship or someone with kids coming in, like if they both have kids, I guess they're like, hey, more to love, right?
I think if both of the two people had kids, I think that's easier to work out because you guys are kind of on an even playing field. The only issue with that is that the relationship with the other parent may be different.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have a great relationship with the child's father or mother. So I think that will play a part.
That's actually a really, 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 really good point you brought up. How does the relationship with the other parent, right? How does that play a role in it? Is there a good relationship? Is there good communication involved? Are there certain rules you put in? I think I had a question in that.
The question. Duh, 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 duh. So my question was, just because then we're talking about the dealing with somebody with kids, right?
Mhm.
So, do you think that you're dealing with somebody? you're dealing with somebody with a kid, right? And you have a kid. Okay, so both have kids. Now, if things don't work out and you get with somebody else, say for instance you get with somebody else, are you expecting the? I kind of mixed two different questions in just now, and I'm gonna go back, restart, refresh. All right,
Mm.
so if you have a kid with someone, right, and they started dating someone else, right? Do you think that you have the right to meet this person who's going to be around your child?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I think that's a discussion that most people should have while they're in a healthy relationship.
Okay.
I think that's definitely a discussion you should definitely 100% have because this person is going to have some kind of perspective on he's going to be around your kid if that relationship is thriving, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, after we answer this question, I definitely want to go into the comments with this thing because I know people who are in these situations that could definitely bring us some of their experiences and how they feel about that. Like me personally, if I was the woman with the kid already, I think I would be open to meeting the father also. I think that's the healthiest thing to do. I would try to like make that as easy a transition as possible. If I decided to put myself in that situation, I have to deal with everything that it entails. And let's say, it's the other father.
Yeah.
I gotta have a good relationship with that person.
But now, what if things are not so great with that other father, with the father or the mother, the other parent? That makes
That
things a lot more complicated,
no,
And how much
absolutely.
do you actually get involved with that? Is this it can become very messy? It's kind of like getting in the middle of your wife and her brother having an argument. Like, how much do you even get into that?
No, that's what I'm saying. There has to be some kind of I mean, you got to think about the child's best interest. That's the bottom line when it comes down to this thing. You definitely have to think about the child's best interest, not what's going to benefit you. Because I mean, what should be in your best interest is the child. Let's see.
With
Hold
some of
on.
these comments.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. If he got backed up, child support. I don't know what that one's about. Hold on.
Yeah, if he got backed up, this is Ashley. She says, if he got backed up child support over 10K, meaning that if he has more than one kid or if he's just not paying his child
Oh,
support, because that's
the
going to affect
financial
you.
aspect.
That's definitely going to affect you guys because um, he's going to begin his based on the last topic we had. He's going to begin his check chopped up if he has a bunch of kids, and he's on child support,
Yeah.
so
We
they're
got
going to take the top.
We got Mike in the background. You ready to jump in, Mike, or what's going on? All right, gave us the two thumbs up. All
Okay,
right, so
Mike
what?
is
What's up,
definitely.
guys?
What's up, Mike?
Chilling. I like the topic, man.
It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. We came up
Yeah,
with
my
it 15 minutes prior to the show.
yeah, that was that comment. That was me who made that comment that women run for the hills when I tell them I have two kids.
Yeah, happens.
I mean, yeah, yeah. So, what do you
Yeah.
think about Mike? If you have two kids, right? So you have an ex-wife. Now, if she was to start dating, would you want to meet that parent? I mean, the other
Uh,
person.
it's already happened, and no,
Okay, I'm confused.
I
If it's
wouldn't.
already happened, what do you mean no?
No, I don't want to meet that other person.
You don't want to meet the other person, even though they're going to be around your daughters.
Any interested in meeting the other person?
Even though they're going to be around your daughters.
Well, that's the thing. I as long as she's pretty good at
Okay.
at picking the a person out. You know what I'm saying? So I think that she would do a good job as to meet somebody who would be good around my kids
So you,
because
so you,
that's a number one thing. That's a number one thing for her. It wasn't planned for the situation to pan out this way, but it just did.
Mhm.
So, but me, I don't really have any interest in meeting her significant other. Now, if she wants to meet my significant other, that's a different story. But as of right now, there is none, so she don't have to worry about that.
Okay. So
I'm gonna yeah, I want to hit that up real quick because all right, so if she has a significant other that's gonna be around your kids all the time, you don't want to meet this person.
Well, not at the moment, not now. Maybe maybe later in the future.
That's
Because
fair.
yeah,
He said he doesn't want to do it because he trusts his ex-wife so well, and that's
You,
honorable.
yeah, you could definitely trust the ex-wife, but she's getting to know this guy. There's no reason for you to trust him. I personally, that's a lot, man. Me, like, that's why I've actually had this discussion with my wife right now. Like, if things don't work out, man, like,
we did the same.
we gotta deal with that.
We had this discussion before things started not working out, but like I don't know, I just don't feel like I'm ready to meet that other person because I like when I got married, I felt like it was kind of like a fairy tale, like it was gonna be happily ever after. I didn't see myself being in the situation that I'm currently in. So it was it's a tough to see somebody that you care about with someone else, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
So you're saying from that standpoint, you don't want to meet the. Okay, I understand that. So Ed Rob here puts a good point that I was just about to get to. I was literally about to ask. Is there a time frame when you should let your boyfriend and girlfriend meet your kids? I think that plays a major part. That's a good question.
Well,
Right.
obviously, it has to be serious in order for the kids to be involved, anyways. Because like it can't be like, 1 week is this person and then the next week is another person.
Yeah.
So there should be a time frame for that to meet for the kids to meet the significant others and whatnot, but they also have to be ready too.
Yeah.
Right. So I think a better question, like to this, would be: is there a time frame? I should. This is not the question. I lost my train of thought. All right. So yes, get Kyle.
So with that question being asked, right? So how soon is it too soon to let your kids meet? Their the person you're dating, because I think one of my friends, I'm not going to say her name, but I think she does a really good job of when she allows to the guy she's dating meet her son. So I don't think there's an exact answer with it, but I do think it's something to consider.
It has
You have
to be serious though. It has to be serious because
Right.
like if you're just dating the person, like I don't really want my kids to meet every single girl that I'm dating. Because how about if things don't
Just
work
doesn't
out?
work out. Exactly.
Yeah, then it's just an extra person. They're gonna be like, oh,
where did
that?
such a thing go? Yeah, but now, do you think that plays a part in their age? Do you think if your kids are older, it's more acceptable to bring them around, or if someone is like 5 or 4 or something like that, do you think you'll get away with it?
I think if they're older, it would be a little bit easier to introduce them. But still, like I guess it depends on the person. Me personally, my kids are 5 and 9, so I'm not going to introduce them to all these different women that could be potential
Hey, Mike,
girlfriend wife. It just doesn't make sense.
Casanova over here.
Casanova, Mike.
No, that's not my situation. Trust me.
You said all these different women. All right, Mikey.
I'm just saying. I'm
Mike
not
Larry.
like Jordan Peele. Nah, it just complicates things because, like, for example, the kids have to also be comfortable with it, and I know that my kids wouldn't be comfortable with meeting either significant other on my part or her significant other.
Gotcha. Just want to touch on the comment here. Ashley wrote, after the FBI clearance, credit report and medical records are in. I guess that's she's saying. I guess that's when they're allowed to meet her kids. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's interesting, man. I didn't think that it should be a set time frame, but what, like, if you meet someone and y'all doing really well, do you think that impacts when you let them?
Well, when I meet somebody and if they seem interested in me, I tell them off the bat I got kids because
Well, no, you should. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you should meet them, when you let your kids meet them.
It would be I would have to talk to their mother first and let her meet my significant other first, and then after that, that's when the kids meet her.
Oh, so that's interesting because you said that you didn't have to meet your ex-wife.
I don't want to.
But you think that you would do it for her?
She would want to if I had someone
No, absolutely. I mean, I think it's important. I really think it's important because this. I mean, this person is going to essentially. I mean, they're going to be going out on dates, right? Family dates. how what in that situation, what you're gonna just be like, all right, just run with it, whatever, If they act up, make sure you spank them. It's like I don't know.
Question. This is a question now, and I know if the person is listening, they're gonna be able to chime in on this. Are family dates a thing? Should you be going on a date with your child, with someone you just getting to know?
I don't think so. Personal
How
opinion.
soon? How soon?
How soon? When he proposes or when she proposes?
Yeah.
Because you said family dates. Like, how soon do the family dates happen?
I don't know, man. I guess if they coming over, that's a family date because you can't just lock the kids in the closet.
Nah, I won't be there.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like family dates, like going out. Like, oh, we're gonna go to such and such today. All three of us, or all four of us, or five of us, whatever the case is. Like,
Yeah.
like
we do it on our separate times. For example, if I'm going on a family date, it's just my two daughters and me. That's it.
All right, cool. We got Fabian in the background. Hey, Fabian, you ready to join? Just give me a
Oh, is
hand.
that Mr. Marvel Contest of Champions guy?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly, bro.
I think this topic is perfect that I fit into.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to hear some of your experiences and your ideas and how it affected you and how it, moving forward, what have you learned from it? So what would you like to share with us as
Like,
far as your
in
experience?
my opinion, I think as far as meeting the kids, like if you're dating someone, I think it should be something they think is like it's serious. Could be like 3 months or more. Like I think one of you guys had said, it also depends on the person. You could build that bond a lot sooner than that. But in my opinion, I think you have to build that relationship with that person first before you introduce them to your child, and then it'll be like little by little. Like, this is my friend. This person's gonna be around for a while, and like as my experience, with my son, it was kind of difficult. Like, I didn't meet the other person like through the parents, because me and my son's mother really didn't have a good relationship. So I met him at like 96th Street Park when when one of my friends pressed him and said, "Yo, what you doing with my man's son in the
That's
park?"
crazy.
Nah,
Wow.
it was serious. Like, when my friends pressed him, he said, "What you doing with my man's son in the park?" And I was like, "Nah, it's cool. Like, it's all right." Because at the end of the day, I'm not that type of guy. If you taking my son to the park, if my son's having a good relationship with you, it is what it is. And I also think it's harder if you have a little girl. I think that's for a boy, I think it would have been it was easier. But if it was a girl, I think all my walls would have been up. Like, I'm meeting this dude, doing background check, all that. I think that's the difficulty. It's easier for a boy than a girl. But when I met my wife, um, I think it was after, I want to say like a month before, my son got to meet her.
All right, cool. So you were in love, like you felt like this is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on, I think you have a Eb that wants to join. I think this is a female Eb.
Usually.
Usually, wow, that's messed up. I would love to hear from a female's perspective. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I couldn't tell. I don't know.
Damn.
Well, it's not really my perspective, right? So I have a friend who feels like the child, like as soon as she starts dating the person, that the child needs to be involved. Like, the child has to be involved. They have to meet, because she just felt like she needed to see the person and the child's interaction together. Her thing was, what if the person she's dating doesn't like her son, or what if her son wasn't feeling him? She'd rather not waste time or dates or money or whatever have you dating this person if it wasn't going to work out for the kid.
No,
Well,
I can see that. I can see that. I kind of get where they're coming from a little bit. Like, no, because what if you get along with this guy or whatever, and then the kid doesn't get along with the guy? That's it's an interesting perspective, and thank you for sharing that. I didn't think about that. That's interesting.
I think naturally the kid is not gonna like the person that's not their parent.
You think so?
My
In
kids
some cases.
already don't want to meet some other guy. They told me personally.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know if that should be a determining factor. Should that be a determining factor if you're gonna continue with someone? Like, those who
I think it's the deal breaker. Absolutely.
really. So
Yeah, if
you
you don't
so
vibe well with my child, or my child just has bad energy, or getting bad energy from you, no, that's a deal breaker.
so my question is now, how much energy or vibe can a child seek in a person? Like how much should we rely on that child's intuition to determine if this person is good or not?
You get
I
them a
think
toy, they
it's
good.
also, yeah, but I think also
It's in a toy.
as a parent, I think the parent can know whether it's true feelings of hatred or a disconnect, or if it's actually something that they're just putting on a front. You understand?
Being rebellious, right?
Yeah, yeah. I honestly
Another,
think a parent could sense that out. So, like she said, if the connection's not there and it's really bad, then you might as well cut it loose. At the end of the day, your child comes before anything else.
no,
All
that's
I gotta
What he
do
said.
is take my kids out to dinner, right? And like, let's say it could be the waitress who's an attractive woman. My kids are so jealous that it's like they think that me and the waitress is having a relationship.
that's an interesting perspective too.
I'm dead serious.
Wow. So how long does it take to come to that conclusion? Well, my child doesn't like you, and I think we should break up because of that. Is that something you wait for the 3 months, like I've seen in the comments, or is that something you do in the first month or sooner?
I don't
It
think there's a
depends.
rule though. As far as dating, if you dating somebody, you don't have to just date one person. You could get to know more than one person.
Okay.
And then you determine like who you really want to pursue and as a relationship.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
you basing it off like a job. Yeah, you go to which interview and which job you actually
Nah,
want to choose.
for me personally, I just do one. That's it. That
Wow.
Wow. Like, could you trust somebody? Like, if you're dating someone, can you trust somebody who wears like a t-shirt sweater? Like this? Like a t-shirt?
Could never trust somebody with a t-shirt sweater
I know, right?
and Crocs. Never.
Yeah. Oh, what's the next question we have on this thing?
So this is what we was going. This is what we're heading now, because you got into a relationship with someone. You got the connection that you was looking for with your kid and your partner. Should the step parents discipline stepchildren? That's the next thing now. If you're dating someone, are they allowed to discipline your child?
Right. Well, before we jump into that real quick, but there's something in the comment section pertaining to that. Did anybody want to chime in on this? Did you guys notice anything? I wasn't paying attention. Should I don't see those anything in the comment section really. So I don't want to leave you guys out. You guys are an important part of these conversations also. So that's why it's an open platform. There were some questions here I wanted to address. Also, I think Eddie had said something earlier. How about, do you think it's an obligation to be a part of the kids' lives on either end? Should it be a choice or just adding a question? This is a question I wanted to touch on later. How about, do you think it's an obligation to be a part of the kids' lives on the other end? Should be
well, the
choice.
kids are part of your life, so they would have to be part of theirs.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's thinking like, if you're coming into the relationship, like should you have a choice in being a part of the kid's life, or should that be something separate? That's actually an interesting.
If you love my kids, you got in order to love me, you got to love my kids too.
It's a package deal. It's not one or the other. It's not Burger King. No.
Yeah, you can't just have no footage.
It's 4 for 4. That's it. You can't alter it. You can't do anything. No.
I got you. All right, so I guess we'll move on. Man, sorry about that. Go ahead, Kyle. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying. I was asking a question. Should
Yeah,
I don't have kids, so I'm asking. Would you guys, those who do have kids, it seems like it's everybody in this chat, should step parents discipline stepchildren?
I think to an extent, in my opinion.
With limitations.
You can't elaborate, or that's
The limitations are you don't put your hands on my kid.
You ain't touching my child.
You can't touch your child. No, yeah, but everyone says you can't touch. There's no physical contact. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I heard somebody's child had an opinion. What was that? I heard somebody's kid in the background.
I'm gonna have to make a visit if they touch my kids.
What if they got married, they've been together for 15, 20 years? Does that play a part?
Nope.
What if
No.
you know you have bad kids and they need to be disciplined?
Call me,
Let
text
be
me, I
disciplined
come
by
do it.
that.
Call me
By
and
the
I
actual
will
parent.
discipline them for you.
What were you saying, Fabian?
I said let them be disciplined by the actual parent, like either the mother or the father, that whoever's in that relationship. Because at the end of the day, like I think just it's the kid's gonna lose total respect for you as the
The primary parent, yeah.
Okay.
and it's gonna be difficult. But I do agree with some type of conversation, like you're punished discipline, not like I'm beating your ass discipline.
So not to change it, not to change topics or switch gears here, but not to be on the other side. Would you break up with someone if you wasn't getting along with a kid?
That's a good question.
Yes.
I think the conversation has to happen. Like, listen, I'm
Okay.
not getting along with your child, and then of course the person's probably going to get angry, but at least you just being upfront. You have to be honest.
Definitely.
That's interesting. Because I would look at it like, wait, you tell me you can't get along with a 5-year-old, and like or something like that. It seems so like something that could be worked on. Maybe I'm not giving kids enough credit. But I just I don't think that a child who can be influenced so easily should be making those decisions for your life. I think that you should kind of say, all right, when this person gets older, maybe I take their opinion into consideration. But at that age, you could become the enemy just like that because you don't get them what they want.
Full disclosure, I could tell you a situation where it was a problem for me. Like when I was dating this girl and her daughter, she was young, but I kind of felt like that kid was a cock block, for lack of a better term. Like anytime I wanted to get intimate and show the kid was involved. So I think that could give you like negative feelings towards the kid, not official negative feelings, but I could see like, I've had those feelings. I was upset, like you try to get intimate with the person and the kid is in the way. Kind of, it's messed up. It's messed up. But it's a reality. Have any of you had that experience? And you're dating with someone with a kid, where the kid's in the way?
What?
Not three.
I think you're on that one, Rick.
I'm alone on that one. All right.
So you said the kid is a cock block, pretty much.
Early on, when I'm trying to like develop the relationship, or
You're trying to develop something now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Anyways, thanks for that, Rick.
Well, to Kyle's point, I feel like people have different parenting styles, and
Right.
that could play a part in the parents or the step parents not necessarily getting along because I feel like your child is disrespectful. I feel like you're not disciplining your child enough. That can cause friction in the relationship to where now I feel like your child is disrespectful and you're not doing anything about it, and now it shifts from about us to about the child. So I don't necessarily think that the child is making the decision. I think it's more so about how the situations are handled and the different type of parenting styles and things like that. So there is a lot of consideration to go into when you're dating someone with kids. Like there's a certain things you have to pay attention to that no one thinks about in the dating phase. Like, okay, I feel like we all know people with kids who do things that are cute or fresh or whatever, but no one takes into consideration when you're dating that person how it might actually play a role in y'all's relationship. Period.
Yeah, I period. Okay, thanks. I think that's something, but I do think if you're going into a situation, you kind of have to like, hey, this is one of the things you need to know. Like, you have kids, right? But like you just said, that's the ugly side of it, right? That's the uncomfortable conversation that you have to have. Like, hey,
no one sits down and have the conversation. So if your child says this, what are you gonna do? Like, no one had that conversation. Like,
exactly.
how do you nobody has that conversation.
That's what I was saying. I'm agreeing with you 100%. I know you like to fight with me, but I'm agreeing with you right now that it is a conversation that nobody likes to have. Like, how much debt are you in? Nobody wants to talk about that. We cross that bridge and we get there type of thing. But that brings me. Thank you for that. That brings me up to our next question. Would you break up with someone because they aren't a good or in alignment with your parenting style?
It's hard. I think it also is hard. It depends because at the end of the day, look, I don't like my daughter does not drink soda. So she drinks water and milk. So if I give you an example, so it could be another parent that allows their certain person to drink soda, just little things like that, or eat candy before dinner. You know, those little things add up to one big thing, and that could cause a problem in the new relationship that you're trying to build with that person.
The Brady
So
Bunch.
it also depends. Because
But
I think
I,
it just has to be like agree to disagree. Like, you know what? This is your child. This is what you're gonna let that child do. I can't say anything. I'm new coming in. I'm not gonna change that.
okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You could have, you could have two different parenting styles. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like break up with somebody because they don't have the same, methods as you.
Okay,
right.
what you think, Ab?
Um, I think it's like religion almost. Like, would you break up with someone because they don't share, your same beliefs type of thing? I just think it just goes to how deeply rooted it is. Like, how much does it matter to you if I give your kid a sip of soda type of thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it just matters at how deeply rooted the
So,
parenting styles is, if you're able to bend a little bit or not, or compromise, I guess.
so what if now? I mean, we look at this question because we want to know moving forward. Because if you're with somebody, y'all plan on having a child of your own now,
Mhm.
is that going to play a part now when you guys have a child? Who's gonna like? That's like having two different religions, right? You're in a relationship with somebody with two different religions. Which religion is this child going to follow? And that's the kind of the issue here. If you guys have a child together, which parenting style is going to reign supreme?
There has to be a
That-
compromise in the relationship, though, because like in your relationship, you're always gonna have to figure out how to compromise, or else things won't work out.
Yeah, I mean, there's conflict of interest when you're originally having your first kid. There's always going to be issues with parenting styles. So you both grew up differently. You both have different ideas. So that's always going to be a problem, whether it's someone with kids already coming into the picture, or if you're just having your own first kid. That's always going to be an issue. There's always going to be a conflict of interest of how you want to raise your kid.
But there's
yeah.
also the point that you just brought up something else, that if even if what if I don't want to have a kid? What if I have a
Yeah,
child and another person comes in like, oh, I want to have like those are the little conversations that people tend to forget to have is what they have to have at the beginning. You'll have 6, 7 months in. Like, wow, if I knew you didn't want to have a kid, why I started this relationship? Because I wanted to.
absolutely, absolutely. That's definitely
Yeah,
a conversation you got to have in the beginning.
Because like for example, my wife wants to have another child, and I have
Mhm.
two. I have my son is 19, my daughter's 8. Um, and just full disclosure, my wife is 10 years younger than me.
Mhm.
So, but she's 10 years older than my son. So
That was some
that,
interesting math I just did. I'm like, wait, what?
right.
I-
So it's also she wants to have another child, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to. But at the end of the day, like it's one of those that we live in comfortable. I might just do it. So also one of those just depends.
You
That's
might
interesting.
slip. You might slip on your pull-out game one day. You might be, maybe today I don't.
Right.
Kyle's like this guy.
Yeah, man. Rick, I think we got to all the questions we had there, brother.
Oh yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I would like to hear from any other one's perspective. I'll hit up some of the comments here, man. This is pretty good stuff, man.
Okay. Well, Ashley here says, I treat them like they're my children, like they're my child. Communication, because I don't want that child in therapy because they didn't feel I loved you.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, so just to kind of, we actually did have a question based off of this, right? So, do you become financially responsible for that person's child now?
What do you mean? If you're coming into the relationship
Yeah,
and she
you
already has,
like you told me before, like if you become you just add water, right? You are in they already is a family there. You just enter in the family now. You are the father in the family right now. Do you become financially responsible for that person's child?
it would be a team effort
or
I agree.
between the mother, the father, and the significant other, as far as that goes. But I think that would have to be a conversation that you would have also.
Yeah.
You know,
because you don't want to
I'm not going to
look
jump
like
the
you're showing up like as a father. You don't want to look like you're showing up the stepdad don't want to look like they're showing up the father. Like, look, I got you a PS5 while he bought you just a controller. Like, like you don't know the people whose finances. So at the end of the day, I think it is a conversation. Like, do you mind if we put this gift as in us together
I like that.
and we split it as opposed to it was just him or it was just her?
That's very rational.
All right, here's a question I have. Right, how about for those of you who are no longer with the parent? Right, do you force them to be a part of the relationship? Let's say that the father is not involved with the picture at all. Like, do you allow the new person to take on the full responsibility?
So it kind of like, do they become the father figure?
Right.
Well,
I
so
think in that situation it might be a little bit easier because the biological father isn't involved at all. So there's the parent, as far as the parenting, the disciplining and all that stuff, it would be between the mother and or the father and whoever they're dating.
And then what if the person decides to come back? Now what?
it's a whole lot of what ifs, man.
Exactly, man.
It happens. A lot of people do that.
It happens
Go through
every
that.
time, apparently. But
So
so it's
don't wait.
I don't necessarily think that it matters. I feel like if you're gonna step up to the role and be the stepfather, that's what you need to be, wholeheartedly and entirely. I don't necessarily think that the actual parent like gets like I don't think that it should matter. Like
Yeah,
either you're gonna actually be in the role or you're not. I don't think just because the other parent is actually involved now, you get to half step in that role. I think like someone in the comments said, you treat everybody the same. You treat them equal. This is your kid now. This is what you signed up for.
right.
I mean, just to share something, like I have a stepfather and a father, right? And I look at them both as my father. My stepfather's been in my life since I was like 5 or 6, right? And my father still has been in my life just all my life. So I was fortunate enough to have 2 fathers. I look at it not the new 2 fathers, but 2 fathers in the sense of having a stepfather and a biological father. And my stepfather treats me just like his son. It's really the same thing. Like, there's really not that much of a difference between the way I get treated and my younger brother, who's his biological son. So, with that being said, I as I was getting older, I discovered a lot of respect for people like my stepfather, who came in when my mother had a young child, and he's been there ever since with no hiccups. So as far as the financially responsible for, I don't think it's an obligation, but I do think it says a lot about the person when they decide to take on a responsibility that they don't have to.
And I think it also depends too, because just let's say you with that person and they have a child and you like 3 years down the road and it doesn't work out and they try to hit you some child support when they didn't try to hit the father with the child support just because you're well off. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a good one, man. That's tough. I mean, I don't know if they can do that legally. You would have to be married, I think.
No, I think if you gave, I think it's more if you gave the child a different lifestyle than what they're used to, you have to pay, I think, some type of child support.
That's tough.
But that's only
I think if you're married, though, if you're married to somebody who has a child with someone else, then you have to bear the burden of the child support, I believe.
That's wild. We gotta definitely check in on that. If that's the case, that's a wild law, man. Because you kind of just take the biological parent off the hook.
Yeah.
Like, my name is not on that birth certificate. Why am I held responsible for that child?
No, you wouldn't be. You'd be giving up your rights.
I don't know, man. That's a we gotta look that one up. If it is a state by state thing, just let me know which state that is, so we could avoid that.
You thinking of staying single now?
That's just like, wow, man. That's taking on a lot. Imagine, you married someone for a year or 2 years, and now you divorce, and you got to pay child support for a child that's not even yours.
But if you love the kid, what does it matter?
It doesn't.
Like,
It does matter. No, don't say it doesn't matter. It does matter.
well, it also depends, because honestly, I don't think as a man, if you in a child's life after like a few years, your disconnect with the person that you was with versus the connection you have with the child is gonna be very different, because you probably don't want to continue to see the child, and of course, depending on how you end the relationship, the mother or the father would like chill. That ain't happening. But honestly, I think it depends.
Well, I mean, being able to and one to support is one thing, but being legally obligated to support something is totally different. You know, they're taking that off your check, off the top. You know, so it's like, do you really want that obligation? I don't think it's fair. I'm definitely gonna look that up.
I pay child support right now for my son, and like Tito knows, it could be it was a difficult battle for me. Like I went 6 years without seeing my son, but I was paying child support just because his mother wasn't. And that's another thing. I think another subject that you guys need to talk about, like child support itself. Is it fair? Because I don't.
She was there for that one. That was Thursday, right?
That topic would have been all about me.
I mean,
it is difficult. At the end of the day, like just going to, for example, like just going to court, you have to like show basically, you have to be working. The mother or the father, that the person that's taking you, is really don't show proof. Like she really was working and she didn't have to show proof. Like she said, "Oh, I'm not working." It's like, okay, go fill out these papers, go look for a job, and that was it. There was no proof that she had to show that she really wasn't working.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have been recording.
So wait, so just maybe you can educate me on this one. So because she wasn't working, were you on the hook for more?
Yeah, they increased it.
That's tough. That's malicious. Wow. That's just being pure malicious, man. That's not right. That's messed up.
But honestly, I didn't want to fight it because it's going on to my son. I didn't care.
No, I get it. I get that too. You know, you feel like if it's going to your kid, it's going to get caught. It's something you want to do anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Rivera says she got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, and none of them on child support. No, I mean that says a lot. She's doing it on her own. She's like, y'all guys don't want to be in the picture, F y'all. I got this. I don't need y'all.
And can I ask why? I'm sorry not to cut you off.
I'll answer that because that's my sister. Okay. From that standpoint, it's just so much of a struggle. You going to court, you have to file these papers. It's like you're basically doing the hunting down of this man that
doesn't want to be in the picture.
Legally not working, and what he's gonna pay $25 because he's not working. So that's like the minimum. It's gonna keep growing, but after certain like 50,000, they're gonna arrest him, lock him up, and you're still not getting no money.
Yeah, we talked about that for sure, man. That's crazy how the whole system works.
You letting them off the hook by not getting the child support because some parents need that help just to support the kids. So like me personally, I wouldn't let him off unless he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
You're right, but I think it's just the difficulty now. Like you have 3 kids, you have to either get a nanny or the grandmother to watch the child while you go to court, set a court date, come back in 30 days. He didn't show up, then go back again, and then the person shows up, and then bring proof of paperwork because he forgot it, then go back again. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a broken system.
Listen, I got locked up for a whole day because no lie, a whole day because I missed child support court.
Wow, I don't understand. I don't understand the logic behind that. Like, if you're locked up, you lose a day of pay, you lose the ability to make money, you lose the ability.
They don't play. I had a parole officer for a whole year that I had to go see for this. It's not a game, and I only owe $2,500. But that should come directly out my check now, so I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, man. So I can see all the dynamics of dating someone with a kid. Now, if you start thinking about all this other stuff that comes into play, it's not a easy choice to make, man. It's definitely not an easy choice to make. Just a lot of intangibles.
Maybe I'm petty because I'm like, nah. Maybe I'm petty, like, nah. You gonna pay something? I didn't make this, so you gonna pay something. I mean,
but like you said, you gotta find them now. It's a hunting game now.
Well, you don't necessarily have to find them. It's the I'm correcting me if I'm wrong. It's the responsibility of the courts to find them at that
No,
point. No,
100%. But
No,
if you're
in
the only
certain
parent
states,
working,
you have to find them.
you
Oh, wow.
yourself serve them
In
like
certain states, yes, you yourself have to find them, serve them, everything. Yes.
and you
I'll
think
hire
about
a
it, if
private
you're
investigator.
only parent working, now you have to take off work. Now the job is like this person is off like 2 times, 3 times a month. What's going on?
wow.
They're self-situated.
Yeah, man.
It's a
So-
lot.
This is the question that we had talked about before. I think actually Evan and I had talked about it before. And I meant to bring it up the last episode because it's more relevant there. But should a person have to pay child support if they didn't want the child in the first place?
Oh,
Well, listen,
you
you
made
should have
it.
just pulled out, covered, something. I'm sorry.
Should have wrapped it up and pulled it
Right.
out.
So
I mean,
you
that's
think yes?
But I said, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
make a kid alone. Absolutely. I mean, mistake or not, you want to call them Oops, middle name Oops, whatever. It's your
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
But on the flip side of it, it is kind of crazy how female get to make that decision, kind of solely, and then hold the guy responsible when, they never really wanted it in the first place. It is kind of unfair.
Right.
It is unfair. But it's also like, it's one of those you have to do your part. Like at the end of the day, if you really don't want a child, you have to do everything in your power not to.
Better get
Like,
Very true.
yeah.
Well,
That's it.
well, I mean, I think we're good on this, right? I mean,
Hell
we
yeah,
definitely
hell yeah.
gotta do some follow-up research on this one, because that you have to find them yourself type that thing is like if you're gonna find them yourself, you might as well get a pistol and take care of yourself then.
You gotta find the street. You gotta find the street up. You gotta
And yeah, man. I mean, it was a good topic, bro.
Yeah, it definitely was. It caught my all your topics catch my interest. It just
This is
work
what's resonates.
conflict.
Yeah, this one resonates with you though.
But it's also the conflict of work. I actually get to watch, I've watched a few of them, and I honestly think you guys are on point with a lot of conversations you guys have, and I think this is like the beginning of something that's going to be great. Podcast.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that. Like I said, I'm trying to create a platform where people can just have discussions, man. It's not about I'm right, you're wrong. It's about, everybody has different experiences. You bring it to the table, we learn from each other, we be inspired by each other. So, with that said, it's like I always say, man, we don't always have to agree, but damn it, we should always talk.
Right. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
man. So if you guys are here for the first time, consider subscribing to the channel and joining our Facebook group where we, talk to each other. We put our ideas together and we, create show topics on that. So with that said, man, you guys stick around for after the broadcast so I can talk to you guys. And until next time, take care, be good, have a fantastic evening, man. Oh, really quick, you guys want to be here Wednesday because Wednesday is going to be pretty dope, man. Kyle's going to be bringing the cast from his short film. I'm going to be introducing my my acting coach, who's actually created an audio book, and she gave me a part in it. So we're going to be discussing that. So instead of promo Thursdays, we're going to do it on Wednesday. So Wednesday, definitely be here so you can see the cast from Kyle's short film. And there's going to be one other person promoting stuff. And again, if you guys have things that you have going on in your lives that you want to promote on this channel, feel free to bring it to my attention. I'll be more than happy to give you guys a platform to promote your stuff to the little crowd that we have. As it grows, man, it'll be a bigger tool for you guys to really take advantage of.
Yeah, I just think it's like it's just basically just linking with other people. Like, I know somebody's doing a podcast and I'm trying to help them, get off of it and just link them with people that actually have different foundations and just kind of help him build on his.
Yeah. Tell him if you want to promote his podcast here too, man. We've been waiting for Kyle to launch his podcast.
On that note, y'all, have a good night.
I love you, bro. He's like, you guys have a good night, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. We're not sure what tomorrow's topic is going to be, but definitely be here Wednesday, man. Kyle, you want to tell them a little bit about Wednesday?
Just to tag along what you said, we're going to be talking about Day to Love. Hopefully I have some of the cast here. And we talk about like the process of making the film and stuff like that. Should be
Yeah, man.
excited. This is my first time talking to them since we was filming.
Yeah, definitely be here. If you guys want to see a teaser from that, check out last week's episode, Thursday's episode. You can see a teaser to his short film, A Day to Love. I love that. I saw the script. I read the script. I love the script. I can't wait to see the final product, man. It's awesome.
Rick, you're so cute, man. Thank you.
Try. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow. You guys stick around. Fabian and Eb stick around. All right. Take care, guys.
Bye, Mike.